Hey Internet, Eric here, and as you can see, I am not here alone. I am joined once again by someone who is so fucking humble he will not accept being called a deathmatch legend. So I will just say he is just a good bud of mine and a big horror fan. Returning, this is episode 21, I believe. And Pondo, the last time you were on my show was episode 4. It's been a couple years. Thanks for
Couple of
coming
years
back,
ago.
man, to shoot the shit.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been I remember when we first got together 2 years ago. It was the usual. When did you get into wrestling? What's the worst spot? All that stuff. And we really wanted to get into horror movies, but you had plans, and we talked a little bit about working on 2001 Maniacs, meeting Robert
Mm.
Englund. And the main reason why we're here tonight is just so we can actually get back together, shoot the shit about horror, and also promote your second book, which I believe you
Um,
said is horror movie themed, right?
it is totally horror movie themed. It is. So let me back up and go through the first book first.
Sure.
So, John Cosper,
Mm-hmm.
he wrote a book called The Bluegrass Brawlers, and asked me a question and put a little section of me in that book.
Mm-hmm.
And all these people started saying, "Holy shit! If you got Pondo to do a little section, you should do a book on Pondo, because he's got stories for days." So John Cosper kept asking, and I kept saying no, because I didn't think anybody wanted to know what I had to say.
Mm-hmm.
But John Cosper is such a nice guy. Finally, I said, "Okay, if you want to do it, let's do it." And I just started telling stories into a tape recorder, or not a tape recorder. Hell, those are so obsolete,
Yeah.
like me and you. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a memo thing on his computer, and because I'm not the best speller and I ain't good at grammar,
Mm-hmm.
so he he took the stories and made them legible for people to read.
Mm-hmm.
But I always thought to myself, since he did that make me an author? Did that make me a guy with a published book?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, I'm really proud of it. It's called Memoirs of a Madman. I put all types of. It does have some wrestling stories in there,
Mm-hmm.
but it has like embarrassing stories that I don't care. Embarrassment doesn't bother me. Uh, I
Yeah,
like
we
to
uh
focus.
we met we met well we'll say this. We mentioned we didn't say go into detail, but we mentioned the maxi pad incident that's in the
Yeah,
book. We'll leave it at that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I uh, I like to fuck with scammers. There's like
Mm-hmm.
4 pages of that. Uh, I was in a comic book with BloodyMidgets.com. There's 4 pages of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just and then photo after photo of you know. Anyway, there's
Mm-hmm.
something for everybody in this book, and I haven't gotten any complaints. Like
No, it's good.
nobody
It's
has
really
said,
good. I
"Oh,
really
this is."
liked it.
Yeah, everybody says this is. Nobody has said. People say that they read it in my voice, and two, they laugh out loud at stories because I'm so descriptive
Mm-hmm.
on my time. So that's a pretty good compliment. So if you want to get the first book, it's called Memoirs of a Madman. You can go to Amazon.com or visit darkpark.com. That's John Cosper's that's his webpage.
Okay.
And you can ask him for an uh, autograph book. And if you bring that book to one of my signature matches where, I've got that red face, I will take the ink off my forehead and give you the bloody thumbprint on the first page
Mm-hmm.
if you want that. Some people don't want that. So, with that first book being, I mean, we sold boxes and boxes. Like me and John Coster, we can't even remember how many we've sold off of Amazon, and he sold, and I've sold at shows. It's
Mm-hmm.
just phenomenal, and it's still selling. We can't, like since I've been doing all these podcasts, I've jumped up to his number 2 spot again,
Nice.
which I think Chris Candido is his number one spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, Chris Candido can beat my ass at anything, any day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting in Japan, and I had all this downtime. And a friend of mine, Christina Harvey, got her Facebook hacked and had to start her Facebook all the way over. Like, she had pictures of her passed away husband.
Mm-hmm.
She had stories about her family, wrestling story, all types of stuff. And she had to start that all over because some piece of shit hacker out there stole her stuff. So I got to thinking, holy shit, all that stuff that I have on my Facebook, what if I got hacked? How, that stuff would just be gone. So next thing I know, I'm sitting in Japan. I got all this downtime. I decide I write a book. It's called Pondo versus the Horror Icons. And it's just me with my experiences, good or bad, meeting all the horror. I mean, you can go on my Facebook and see the pictures now if you want. But so what's your favorite horror movie?
I don't think you're a fan, but it's the original Pet Sematary from 1989.
No, yeah, I'm not a fan. But
my second favorite would be the original Poltergeist. How about that?
Okay. Going back to Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary 2, I met Ed Furlong.
Okay.
Let's see. What was the second one you said?
The original Poltergeist.
The original Poltergeist.
Toby Hooper.
You stopped me on that. I met nobody from that.
Okay.
But there's so many people who their favorite horror movies. I've met people from that movie. Poltergeist, you got me. But let's say that all these fans of Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, Leatherface, Candyman, The Exorcist, The Tall Man. I've just met horror icon after horror icon. I'm going to put it all in one book. So it's called Pondo versus the Horror Icons. And I'm really proud of this one because in Japan, I wrote this one.
Oh, really?
So now there's no question of now whether I'm an author or a publisher. And I'm not a publisher. I don't know how to fucking do publishing, but I'm an author now because I wrote this book. John Cosper took the pages that I wrote, and now he's editing, doing the grammar and the spelling. My spelling, I'm lucky I can spell cat right. But the cool thing is this book is so personal to me because someday when I pass away, this book's still going to be out there. And people's going to be able to say my Facebook got hacked and took down an hour from now. This book will show people, who I met, how I met them. I'm really proud of it. It's called Pondo versus the Horror Icons, and you can get that. I don't have a release date, but I have a release year. It's coming out this year because John Cosper's, editing and doing all the stuff. The first guy who drew up the first cover is also doing the second cover, Seizawa, out of Japan.
I love his t-shirts.
Yeah. So as soon as he's done with that, as soon as John Cosper gets done with the editing, as soon as I proofread whatever the hell it is I need to proofread, 2026, Pondo versus the Horror Icons will be out. So you can get the first one now, the second one later, and that's at Amazon.com, or you can go to visitdeadpark.com and ask John Cosper about an autographed copy.
That's awesome. How long did it take you to write it? Like, because I think your last tour of Japan was a month or two? Was it
9 months? I was there 9 months.
Jesus.
And I had a Japanese fiance at the time who would go to work, so I was at her apartment by myself with a TV that didn't speak much English, and nowhere to go. So I would write it some at her house, uh, bus trips to Sapporo, ferry boat rides from Sapporo to Hokkaido. Uh, just any spare time I had, I
Mm-hmm.
would go on my Facebook. I would find somebody who I met, and I would write a story about it. So it didn't take me the whole 9 months. I would say 4 or 5 months,
Okay.
but that wasn't just straight through. That was okay. I got stuff to do, so I don't have to write today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I'm on this bus trip. I can write today. So that's about how it went.
Now, like we've always said before, like when we're just bullshitting in like in Messenger, how you've answered the same wrestling questions over and over again, which you say you don't
Uh,
mind
I
talking about. But when it
know,
comes,
I know people's gonna think that I'm so repetitive. All the because the answers are the same on
Mhm,
each podcast of the wrestling
mhm.
question.
Yeah, but when we also say when we talk about horror, like before we went live, we can talk for hours on horror. Did you
Hours
have
and
did you have like was this more fun because you were just talking about personal experiences because you love the genre so much than your first book, just telling your story that you've said 100 times?
well, I have worked so hard on. I say the word work. No,
Mm-hmm.
not work. I have enjoyed my time meeting all these fucking horror icons that
Mm-hmm.
I am in my childhood would never think that I
Mm-hmm.
would get to meet. Uh, uh, the Exorcist, so controversial. Did
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd ever get to meet Linda Blair? No. Um, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so controversial. Did I ever think that I would get to meet Gunnar Hansen? No. Uh, uh, Cannibal Holocaust,
Mm-hmm.
the director. I can't remember his name. I don't
I
know
don't
if you
know.
remember.
No, I
But,
don't know.
but did I ever think I'd get to? No. And sitting at home, I don't know if you was a big fan of these, but Famous Monster Magazine, Fangoria, Rue Morgue,
I grew up on Fangoria magazine.
okay, uh, and they always had horror conventions,
Mm-hmm.
but them damn horror conventions was always in L.A.,
Yeah.
which is convenient because that's where a lot of those people lived. I get
Mm-hmm.
that,
Yeah.
but then they started branching out to Parsippany, New Jersey, and Cleveland, Ohio, and Cincinnati, Ohio, and Indianapolis, Indiana, and Atlanta, Georgia, places that I
Chicago.
could, Chicago,
Yep.
places I could drive to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in heaven. My first one, I went to Parsippany, New Jersey to meet Linda Blair.
Okay.
Now, I met other people, but my main focus was Linda Blair. So uh, I will never forget that moment. And you can read in the book about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she was a bad experience, maybe,
I've
which I
heard.
really, which I really hate that is a thing. But um, it's in the book. But I'll go ahead and tell you, she has two tables.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband's at her first table, and that's her Humane Society table.
Right.
She's at the second table with all her exorcist stuff. Now I'm watching her take care of the family in front of me, and she is like cutting prices and taking all types of pictures with them.
Mm-hmm.
It was my turn. She looked over at her husband. Her husband shook his head no, as if I did not give money to the Humane Society table. And she treated me like dog shit.
Really.
Yeah, like upped her price on pictures, and which I know what she was up in the price. She was just gonna take the extra and put it over in the Humane Society thing.
Right.
But nobody came to Chiller Theater because she loved dogs.
They came because she was Reagan. Yeah.
They came because she was Reagan. So I cannot excuse that. I'm still a huge fan.
Yeah. Would you, if given the second chance, would you go to see her again,
I
or she
would,
kind of
I
soured it
would,
for you?
I have learned to give shit to that first table. and then she's going to treat me better, you know. But oh my god, it was just I was so not heartbroken, but
Disappointed.
very disappointed. Like it was a 12, 13 hour drive to Parsippany, New Jersey,
Yeah.
to meet this woman, and then it was like you're going to meet an ex-divorcee or some shit that
Hmm.
wouldn't have much to do with you. So yeah, I would take that. Well, I have had the second opportunity, but
Hmm.
there's been so many other people that I wanted to meet, and I just never gave it a try again. I've been to other conventions she's been at, but I just never went back to her table.
Yeah. When did you actually become a horror fan? Were you a young kid? Were you high school age? And do you remember the movie that got you into horror?
So I was a big horror fan all through grade school,
Okay.
but we're talking Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman.
Hmm.
I can't tell you how many times I saw Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein.
I just finished
Um,
going through all the Universal movies with the Invisible Man. Those are
yeah.
pretty good. I like those.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just went to Universal and they had a great looking Invisible Man walking around with the bandages and the
Nice.
goggles and all that.
He looks just so fucking creepy. I love it. It's just a guy with bandages and goggles, you know.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, all through school, I was drawing those characters. I would talk about those characters all the time. And then, as time went on, of course, Godzilla
Hmm.
hit my eyes, and every time a Godzilla movie. Now, what a lot of kids don't know is there was no going and grabbing a skinny CD and putting it in a machine and getting to watch movies. You
Yep.
had to wait till, you know, I was the guy who would get the TV guide, which
Hmm.
kids don't even know what a fucking TV guide is
I know.
anymore, and go page by page. Okay, I want to see this. I want to see this. I want to see this.
Hmm.
So, God, I'll tell you a funny story. So, I was with my granddaughter, and she's 12 now, but this was
Hmm.
when she was 10, and she started watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Hmm.
And I and she asked me, said, because she calls me her Pondo. She said,
Hmm.
"My Pondo, did you ever watch this when you was a kid?" And I said, "I'll even up you on this. If you didn't watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on the day that it came out, you had to wait a whole year
Yep.
before you got to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer." And it just blew her mind. She's like, "No
Hmm.
way. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "No, I'm being serious. If you missed it on the day that it was playing, you had to wait a whole year
Yep.
to get to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer." And it was the same with Frosty the Snowman. It was the same with Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park
Yeah.
at October, or Fat Albert's uh, what is it, Halloween special, whatever
Hmm.
that was.
Yeah.
Kids are so spoiled today that they can walk
I
right over to the computer and punch it in, and
Bro, my daughter is 13 and she's got a cell phone, and it's just like I was telling her, like, you've got everything in your hands. I said when
yeah.
we were growing up, like, she doesn't know what video stores are or
Oh my
anything like
god,
that. I was
my
telling her, I
kids
said,
do jobs.
yeah. I was
Yeah,
telling her by when her mom, my wife, I said one of the things we did when we first started dating, every Friday night we just go to the Blockbuster or the local video store, you know what I mean? And it
yeah,
sucked. Like if we saw a movie, it's not like you go see a movie now and it's fucking streaming in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? We
right.
had to wait, like you say, we have to wait an hour, or excuse me, not an hour, a year for it to come to VHS. People don't even know what
Yep.
VHSs are. And
Here-
then
here's
you had to wait for hope that it was in, and then you have to hope that when you rent it, the VCR doesn't eat the fucking tape. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Now, here's the thing about VCR tapes, and I don't know if you know this or not. When they first came out, they was $100 a piece.
Hmm.
All right. Um, I never had, so I got to see The Exorcist when I was 13 years old, because I don't know if you remember this. They re-released it.
I know they re-released it with added footage, but I think
Well,
that was in like the early 2000s, wasn't it?
yeah, no, this was theaters.
Okay,
Uh,
no,
it had its run, and then when I was 13 years old, I can't remember what year that is now,
because I was
but
born in '81.
I was
So
born in 69, so 69, 79, 80, 81, 82, they re-released it.
okay.
There was no VCRs or no bullshit by then. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre never played on regular TV, never once. So I knew what it was. I had read in the magazines everything that happened,
Mm-hmm.
but until it came out on on video cassette, I never got the opportunity to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't remember when VCRs came out. Do you? What year?
It was, oh god, I'm just gonna assume like maybe, let's see, my brother was born in '86. I think we had one then, so at least maybe I'm just gonna say '84, '85, something around
Yeah.
there.
My first job was at CNN Video in '87,
Okay.
and that's when they were first coming out mainstream. So the funny thing about it was we would rent. Well, we didn't have to rent a VCR because I worked there. So I would bring a VCR home. Me and four friends pulled our money together and bought a copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre so we could watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you saw the Bart Simpson comic book episode, but at the end of the night, everybody was like, "Okay, well, who gets to take it home?" And I'm like, "None of you
Oh yeah,
motherfuckers."
okay. Okay, now I get
And
you.
I'm like, "None of you motherfuckers have a VCR. It'll stay right here. It'll be right here, you know." But I, every once in a while, one of them would rent a VCR, and painfully, I would have to hand that video to them so
Yeah.
they could watch it at their house.
It's my weekend this time, asshole. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but it always came back to my house. It always
Mm-hmm.
came back to my house.
So growing up, like seeing this stuff real young, and a lot of the hype, like they're talking about when Exorcist came out, and miscarriages and stuff like that, and then this movie is banned, and then all the hoopla that happened with like something like Cannibal Holocaust. How much of that did you like believe? Did that affect like your viewing of this? Did that scare you more? Or did that make you enjoy it more? Stuff like that.
Not at all, because like you, the magazines told me damn near everything that was going to happen in the movie.
Right.
So
Okay.
when they re-released it, Carmi, Illinois, my grandma. So I lived I lived in Flora, Illinois, small
Mm-hmm.
town. If you had a note from your mom and dad, you could get it in the R-rated movies.
Yep. Same
Not
here.
Carmi, Illinois. If your older guardian would buy your ticket, you could get into the movies. So
Mm-hmm.
I got into Cat People, and then the
Okay.
next day, my hometown wrote in the newspaper, "Whatever you do, don't let your kids go see this." And my mom was like, "What was this? What was this movie all about?" And I said, "Oh, no, don't worry about it, you know." But so I went to the re-release of The Exorcist,
Mm-hmm.
and I was by myself. I knew everything that was getting ready to happen. The
Okay.
head turning backwards, all that. The green
The
pea
puke.
suit coming out.
Yeah.
I knew all that shit that was getting ready to happen, but I wanted to see how they made it look just from what I read in magazines.
Mm-hmm.
So there I am, a 13-year-old kid sitting in a movie theater, and these adults would come over to me and said, "Hey kid, you might want to sit with us. This is going to be really scary." And I'm like, "No, no, no, I'm good. I'm good." Now, the one thing that the magazines didn't talk about was the crucifix
Yeah. I was gonna say
masturbation
probably.
scene.
Yeah.
So when that started happening, I started laughing. Not because of the masturbation scene, but
Yeah.
nobody in my family made fun of religion.
Okay.
Not that we went to church or were super religious, but we just didn't make fun of religion. And there she is, FG, FG.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just hit me funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like adults were turning around looking at me like, what kind of hell
What's
child do
wrong
we
with this
have?
kid? Yeah.
Yeah, so no, it did not affect me because
Okay.
I'd already read what was getting ready to happen.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have a favorite genre? Like, I know you like kaiju, especially. Well, let's get on that. Like, I know you're a huge Godzilla fan,
Yeah,
and
big.
being a huge Godzilla fan and always, taking trips to Japan. How did that feel actually finally getting to see? Because I know you have actually seen Godzilla in a Japanese theater. How cool was that as a huge fan?
Uh, so I don't. So even before Godzilla minus one,
Mm-hmm.
2001, I can't remember what it was. Uh, I was with the CZW guys,
Okay.
and we pulled into. So I slept on the bus. I slept on. I'm a big sleeper. Like I fall asleep standing up,
Mm-hmm.
but I slept on the bus. When we got to the town, which was probably 12 hours from the dojo, I started walking around. Whatever, some little country town, but they
Okay.
had a movie theater, and the marquee said Gorgira.
Mm-hmm.
We know what the fuck Gorgira is. And then it said 11 a.m. So I didn't have to be at the dojo. I didn't have to be anywhere until 4.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a Godzilla movie playing in Japan in this little country town at 11 a.m. So I get there and they have these little punch cards,
Okay.
where with the little piece of cardboard that goes up and then they'll stand up.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't let me have one because I was an adult.
Okay.
I was really disappointed about that. But I don't drink alcohol. But
Right.
this was the first time that when I walked into the lobby, they were selling beer. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I'll take a beer. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even drink beer, but just so I'm sitting in the movie theater, and it is me, and this theater is full of young Japanese children, girls and boys, and it was Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Okay.
If you know anything about that one,
Is that
that's
the
when
smog monster?
no, that's Hedora.
Okay.
Destroyer is like the dragon looking thing.
Oh,
They're all
okay.
dragon looking things.
Okay.
But uh, the, the important part about this episode is radiation took Godzilla over and he melted. Right
Okay.
now, I'm sitting in the very back row, and Godzilla on the screen is melting, and these small Japanese children start crying, and they're turning around and they're saying something to me. And I in English, I'm telling them, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't help. But yeah, I will never forget. That was the first Godzilla movie that I saw there, and then I saw Godzilla's Final Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me these. So I took my wife at the time, ex-wife now, and they had these little toys that had Godzilla on top of the earth. I was so proud of those. But in the divorce, I didn't grab them. I didn't grab none of my shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to see Godzilla Final Wars. I went to another Godzilla film, and then like 2 years ago, I went to Godzilla. So there was no English, but
Right.
I'd already seen the English version in America. But I went to Godzilla minus one while I was in Japan 2 years ago.
I heard that one was great. My friends keep telling me I got to see minus one, and I should also see Shin Godzilla. I've heard those
Okay.
are
Shin Godzilla. Let me tell you about Shin Godzilla.
yeah.
Uh, all right. Did you like the fourth Hellraiser?
Parts of it, I'll say that. I like
Okay.
parts of it.
You realize Doug Bradley Pinhead wasn't in Hellraiser 4. Wait a minute. 3, 4, Bloodlines, 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
5.
yeah. You're thinking of Inferno. Yeah,
Inferno.
that I liked that. If you look at it as not a Hellraiser movie, because Bradley's in it, Pinhead's in it for like 5 fucking minutes. I
Okay.
like it. I like it
Shin
as a creepy
Godzilla,
detective story. How about that?
Shin Godzilla, same thing.
So
Godzilla's maybe in that movie. I'll even give it 10 minutes, but it's not
really,
10 minutes. Yeah.
Jesus.
So I fucking hated Shin Godzilla. So
Okay.
then when Godzilla Minus One came out, and I know that it's like the second part
Mm-hmm.
to Shin Godzilla, I was very apprehensive. I was like, I'm not going to like this. But man, I fucking love Godzilla Minus One. It is so good. Then fans, I don't know if you know this, on YouTube have been making uh, AI Godzilla films, and
Mm-mm.
there's a Godzilla versus Gigan, and there's a Godzilla and Godzilla versus Jet Jagger. You know, there's and they're really fucking good.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like childhood, and then so uh, one of my things I wanted to go zip line into Godzilla's mouth. I don't know if you knew about that, but
Uh-uh.
that's in Osaka, and that's hard to do. But then there, the Toho Cinema Building has a giant Godzilla head with his claws
No
sticking
shit.
over the side of the building, and every hour it will smoke, and then it'll blow shit, and the music will play in the town, and you can hear them roar and shit like that.
That's fucking cool,
Um,
dude.
yeah, so and then there's a Godzilla store in Osaka and Tokyo. I was just on cloud nine. I'd go to this store called what was it called? Oh my god, Hardcore Chocolate, and
Okay.
they didn't just sell Godzilla shirts. They had Mecha Godzilla shirts, not this M2 M3, but the original
Mm-hmm.
Mecha Godzilla shirt. They had Gigan shirts. They had Biolente shirts. You know, so I own a bunch of those. Yeah, big Godzilla fan. So going to Japan and being able to shop for Godzilla merchandise was awesome to me.
That's gotta be fucking cool. I just love this. I just now I'm always gonna think of when I watch Godzilla is all these little sad crying Japanese kids and
Yeah.
Pondo just can't console him. He doesn't know what to do.
I mean that I was like the main focus in the room. They knew that there was one adult sitting in there. I don't know where all these kids' parents went,
Mm-hmm.
but there's one adult sitting in there, and I'm that adult. And all these children are looking at me with these tears in their eyes. Some of them are bawling, and they're speaking to me, but I don't understand them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Wait for the
It's-
sequel, kids.
Man, it is a missed time. You know, we're talking about. I remember, you know, when we were growing up, like you said, all you really had to do is have like a guardian pay for it. You can go see a rated R movie. My first rated R movie was RoboCop 2, and I
Oh
was
yeah,
9 years old seeing that in the theater. So it's just like a different fucking time. You know, not just with like the VHS tapes and just what kids could do back then compared to nowadays.
all them R-rated movies. Finally, I didn't need in my hometown. I didn't need a note,
Hmm.
but I tried it with Porky's, but I had somebody else write the note for me and
Yeah.
got busted.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, I think it still is a thing. There's a big difference between violence and sex movies. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know, you could see decapitations, but you see one fucking nipple, and you know all hell
Yeah.
breaks loose.
Hell yeah.
Now, other than kaiju, do you have a favorite genre? Like, I know you're big into slashers, but do you have a favorite genre movie that you
Well, let
specifically
me
go
keep
to?
going with your other question that you said.
Yeah, please.
Um, after Godzilla,
Hmm.
um, there was Friday Night Frights and Saturday Night Shockers and all
Hmm.
this. And that's where I was watching like the Hammer films
Yeah,
and
we have
yeah,
Svengoolie here.
but well, I met Spenguli in Chicago, but I didn't even take a picture with the guy.
Hmm.
I didn't have. I say that I didn't have a ghost host, but I had an Elvira, I had a
Hmm.
Rhonda Shear, I
Hmm.
had a Captain USA, I had a Gilbert Godfrey was doing it there for a while.
Yeah.
So I did have some ghost hosts, but not like a Spenguli or a seven. What's that other guy's name? Seven? I can't remember. Anyway,
I don't know.
yeah. I didn't have Ghost Host.
Mhm.
Saturday Night Shockers, uh, after 11 o'clock, they would have cussing and nudity on regular TV. Like,
Really?
yeah, the one that I remember the most was Squirm with all the worms.
Mhm.
And the redheaded chick when she was getting ready to jump in the shower, and they didn't cut anything, and but they also played Benny Hill, and they didn't cut anything out of that either.
Right.
So, after 11 on Saturdays, you got to see shit like that.
Mhm.
But I'm getting off track again. So there was the Hammer films, but then they would play like Willard
Mhm.
or I'm trying to Sister Sister,
Mhm.
non Hammer film, and
Right.
I just kept loving this movie and this movie and this
Mhm.
movie, and finally, um, I went to see. I was very fortunate.
Mhm.
I didn't get to see Friday the 13th in the theater. I didn't get to see Halloween in the theater, but HBO
Yes.
was such a huge hit back in the day.
Same here.
And I think HBO helped Halloween become what it is today. I think HBO helped Friday the 13th become
Mhm.
what it is today. So I did get to see those two on there, but uh, I went to Halloween 2, Friday the 13th Part 2, Nightmare on Elm Street, uh, all the Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Mhm.
Just so many movie theater visits. And then when I could see, a lot of those didn't come to. The reason I didn't get to see Halloween or Friday the 13th was I didn't drive,
Mhm.
and so my hometown didn't get those movies.
Okay.
But by Halloween 2 and Friday the 13th Part 2 and Exorcist 3 and
Mhm.
shit like that, Evansville, Indiana, they had everything.
Mhm.
They had theater after theater after theater. So, I got to see all types of movies as they were uh,
Coming out.
releasing the day of and shit like that. So I feel very fortunate that I got to do all that stuff.
Yeah, HBO was huge for me as a kid. That's where I got, between that and like USA Up All Night with Rhonda Shear and Gilbert
Yeah,
Godfrey and stuff like that. But HBO, I remember it was like every Saturday. They always had like the brand new movie at like 8 o'clock, and I couldn't tell you how many horror movies. And that's what introduced me to like shows like Tales from the Crypt, where you can see the
yeah,
gore and the sex, but you also had, I'm a sucker for like a twist morality tale ending. You know what I mean? I've
yeah.
always liked that. Um, but did you like I said, did you have a favorite genre, or are you just like a horror nut? You just don't care if it's horror, you'll watch it.
Mm, I will say I'm a slasher guy. I love the
Okay.
slasher.
Okay.
Um, I I am not a big fan. Okay, so hear me out. I'm not a big fan of ghost movies. Now, when
Okay.
I say ghost movies, I do not mean Poltergeist. I do not mean 13 Ghosts. I do not mean the original Amityville. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking. I'm talking about these ghost movies now. Insidious,
Okay.
Conjuring, the movies that rely on jump scares.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But, I'm a big hater of Hereditary.
That's what we talked about in our last get together. I talked about how I loved how you were selling 8x10s, and you always say, "Oh, what do you want me to put?" I said, just put to Eric, and then say something bad about Hereditary, and
Yeah,
it's to Eric, and then you had your little Mad Man Pondo. Hereditary fucking sucks.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then I have a new. I didn't think Hereditary would ever get beaten, but have you seen Skinamarink?
Yeah, we didn't get a chance. That's I actually have them written down here as Hereditary. Skinamarink is. I know you can at least, if you were forced to say something good about Hereditary, there is not a fucking good thing that happens in Skinamarink. It's 90
No.
minutes of boring bullshit.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, Pondo. The only reason why I finished it was because for my YouTube channel, someone requested I did a review. It literally took me like 3 tries over 3 fucking months to finish
The
it.
reason I finished it, check this out. Me and my buddy, we went to one theater
Mm-hmm.
and it messed up. So we got a refund and hurried to another theater. So I paid to watch this piece of horse shit. And I figured since I had to go to two theaters, we finished it.
Yeah,
When when we got there, we walked into the theater and you know the final scene is just a face on the screen.
yeah.
And me and my buddy, we walked in the theater. I'm like, holy shit, is this movie over or is it still going? And some dude, one guy in that theater goes, no, it's not over yet. And we said, oh, sorry. So we walked outside and he came outside and we said, so how was it? And he goes, devastating. It is devastating. All right. So we had high hopes. Now,
Okay.
what even drew me into Skinamarink
Mm.
was the retro looking film trailer.
Yeah, I liked that.
You know, it looked like
VHS.
it was shot on 16 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they had the kids and the whispering and all the horse shit. So me and my buddy, we thought, well, this is gonna be awesome. Oh my god, dude, that was the worst. If you want, I made Skinamarink 2.
Yeah, I remember when it came out. You either had a video or a bunch of pictures. I know there was like a picture of a toilet, and I think you had a
Yeah,
pickle in your mouth or up your nose or something
no,
like
no, no,
that.
no, no. The pickle was, you know how there was a face at the end of Hereditary.
Yeah,
I took that Nicholas Cage, Pickles Cage, and
yeah,
that's at the end. You know.
yeah.
And,
Shout out to Patrick. He's in the chat. You were just on his show a couple weeks ago, and
okay.
he's still sore that because he's a huge Skinamarink fan for some reason. God bless him, but he was having a hard time hearing all the hate from you. But hey, man,
Did you know? Did you know I got my very first time going to Facebook jail
really.
because every time somebody would put over Skinamarink, I
Mhm.
would send them Skinamarink 2 and say, "Judge this."
Yeah, and they probably thought you were spamming or something.
Yeah, and somebody finally turned me in, and I was off Facebook for a week.
I do remember like on when you were being interviewed by Patrick that you say you're not a big fan of art movies, I guess you would say, or movies that
Yeah,
really make you think, like Hereditary, like Skinamarink. What do you think of movies? For me, I mean, I can take or leave them, but what do you think of movies like The Babadook or something like that? I didn't like The Babadook
I didn't
either.
like the Babadook.
Yeah,
I don't like. So did I can't remember. Did they ever show us what the Babadook looked like? They didn't, did they?
no, no. I mean, I
Yeah,
think she's in the basement, like she's yelling at like into a doorway or something, but I don't think we ever see it because it's supposed to be
that's
like her
useless.
trauma or some bullshit.
That's useless to me.
Yeah.
There's another movie that's what's it called? They Come at Night. Is that the name of this movie?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to look.
And nothing comes. Um, Lords of Salem. Lords of
Oh, yeah.
Salem. Lords of Salem started out good.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, there's a bunch of preachers jacking off dildos with some ugly midget running around. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, I was actually going to ask you, how do you feel about Rob Zombie as a filmmaker? Because I'm a big fan of his movies. Love House of a Thousand Corpses. Devil's Rejects is one of my favorite movies. I enjoy the first half of his Halloween. I like the asylum stuff. I enjoy Halloween 2. But once I got to Lords of Salem, it had a lot of promise. I loved the
Yeah,
cast. The
yeah.
witches
And
were
it started
creepy as
out
fuck.
good.
But when, like you said, when you had that little midget, like he looks like a skinned like baby chicken, and
But there,
he shoots these tentacles into Sherry Moon Zombie and gets her pregnant.
yeah,
It just
no need for that. No
no.
fucking need for that. I even liked Three from Hell.
I liked it when they got to Mexico. I liked it more
Yeah.
when they got to Mexico.
I liked his cartoon he did, El Super Beasto.
Fucking love that one.
Um, my problem with Halloween 2,
Mm-hmm.
and hey, if I had a wife, she would be in everything. I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I
Yeah.
get it. You happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
But you just had to make your wife a spirit in Halloween 2.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
What did
I
you think of 31? Did you like 31?
You know what? 31 had all the promise in the world. I don't know. It just fell flat. Like the minute Meg Foster and the other girls like fucky, 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 sucky,
Yeah.
sucky, sucky. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is going on? And
Yeah.
then so much cooler. I, I don't really get into a badass midget. You know
Fair enough.
how badass does a midget have to be badass? You know, you can kick that little fucker and he'll fall over. You know what I mean? I mean,
Fair enough. Yeah.
but I like them. I like them two clown characters.
Yeah. And I liked Richard
Uh,
Brake a lot. He was good.
yes, he was excellent in the movie. He was the
Mm-hmm.
best part of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end, again, Sherry Moon Zombie. What the fuck was that? I'll tell you one company I really hate is A24.
A lot of people, they either love A24 or they fucking hate it.
Uh, I
There's
loved
no in between it, I've noticed.
I loved X. Hated Pearl and Maxine.
Okay. Here's my thing. There were scenes of X that I liked. I think it just dragged too much. I wish we focused more on the old lady, on old Pearl, than
Yeah,
the characters making the porno. I fucking hated Pearl. I fucking
hated
hated
Pearl.
Pearl. Man, when she I was getting into it because I loved the like the look of the Wizard of Oz, the fonts
Yeah,
and stuff like that. But when she
yeah.
started fucking that scarecrow,
Uh-huh.
I already threw my hands up and I'm like, I'm done with this shit. And I just did not like her performance. I dug like the first half of Maxine because I
I
love the
didn't.
80s. I love the 80s. I loved, the serial killer stuff. But once we got to her dad wanting to do a seance on her, I
Yeah.
threw my hands up. I said, this is fucking stupid. I couldn't do it.
Well, after Pearl, that was the big rumor that she was going after her dad, not her dad was coming after her.
Right.
Uh, and then I don't know. A24, they've got another movie called Men.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Uh, A24, they are. I think A stands for art film,
Hmm.
and 24 I think stands for 24 farts. I'm not a big fan of A24 at all.
Yeah. Even Patrick, even though you guys disagree on Hereditary, he says he hates A24 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and here is a big fuck you to the world. A24 is trying to get the license for Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I saw that they actually did, and I think they're making it a TV show, aren't they?
I don't know, but it's just gonna suck.
Because I think they're doing the same thing with Friday the 13th. They're already filming that. And I think it's
Yeah,
A24.
that's Blumhouse.
Oh, is that Blumhouse? I thought it was A24.
I think Blumhouse got. I know it was Blumhouse because I was just at Halloween Horror Nights, and they had a Jason house
Okay.
and they've had Black Phone and what else they had? Black Phone and
I know they did the last three Halloween movies. That was big for them.
yeah,
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that trilogy. One
many
thing I know you're a huge fan of, and I'm jumping back into the franchise, is the Phantasm franchise. I
love
know
the
you're I
Phantasm
know
thing.
you're I know you're big, especially on the tall man. Now, do you have Angus? Yeah, I knew tattooed on you, and that is his signature, right?
That's it.
That's awesome, dude. Because I know you also have Odorous tattooed on you, and I wasn't sure if you had. Yep, that's fucking cool, dude. I'm getting into the franchise again. I've watched it all before. I really enjoy it. Now that I know what I'm getting into with at least the first movie and realize that it's just a big fucking fever dream, I'm really starting to enjoy it more because the first time I watched it, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. You know what I
Right.
mean? You have these two guys fucking in a graveyard, and then the tall man does his thing, and then you got these little dwarves that look like they're Ewoks or Jawas or whatever walking around.
Right.
And but once you got to the second one, and I think I liked it because it was more action oriented, and I really fucking love Reggie Bannister. I think he's the coolest fucking ice cream
Oh
man in
yeah.
the world. And I loved how they just kept going on. And I know a lot of people hate Ravager. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked how it ended. I don't want to spoil that one for people, but I watched the first one again the other night, and now that I know what I'm getting into, I'm really enjoying that franchise a lot. What is it about the tall man that and Angus that really draws you in?
I think so. Going back to HBO,
Mm-hmm.
Phantasm played once at like 1 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
One time in my whole history of HBO. And when I watched it, I don't know, it just like freaked me out, man. Like the whole Michael in the dream, and then all the people coming up out of the ground and
Mm-hmm.
grabbing Michael. I can't even remember how old I was then, but yeah, and that's why I have him tattooed, like "Meet Your Fears," you know. So
Mm-hmm.
he's on my leg. Freddie never scared me. Jason never scared me, but Tall Man was one of them guys who scared me because even after the first movie, I was like, so what is the Tall Man?
Right.
Then after the second movie, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is the Tall Man? Because I mean, and then the third movie, what in the hell is this guy? They never explain, you know? And then finally they do in Ravager. But
Mm-hmm.
now, now I'm reliving that all over with
Mm-hmm.
Art the Clown. What the fuck is Art the Clown? But I love it. I love that I don't know what the hell this guy is.
Yeah, see, that's that. We'll jump into Terrifier because I know you love art. For me, love and hate relationship with Terrifier series. I think
You
they
know?
get better as they have gone along. My problem is just like I love blood and gore. Sometimes I'm just looking at my watch. I get that he shot the girl in the face, but then he shoots her 6 more times. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or I get that he scalps her, but then we have to have like 3 minutes of him pouring salt on her. So
Yeah.
that's my problem. But what I do like is first off, David Howard Thornton is amazing. Doesn't say a goddamn word. It's
What a great
all
guy, too. So nice.
I've heard he's awesome. I'm gonna try to get him because I know he does interviews. I'm gonna try to get him on the show. I've heard he's cool as shit. But what I love is we don't know what art is. We know he's not human, obviously, but
Yeah.
what is he? And I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I like Terrifier 3 probably the most, a lot of people hate the angels and demon stuff that they're going, the portal to
The,
hell or whatever
the,
that
the
was.
multiverse at the end.
Mhm.
I don't know where they're going with that.
But that's what's getting me into. Like, I want to know now what's going to happen. Do we really need to see the victim masturbate with a piece of glass? No, but you know what? It. I'll watch that for David's response, and I
Right.
just love how again, it's all body language. You know what I mean? I just love the part in the very beginning of part two. When he walks into the laundromat, he throws all of his clothes in the
Yeah.
washing machine like a normal person would do, and he
Yeah.
just sits down, butt ass fucking naked in the chair, reads the newspaper, and he's laughing at the funny pages and the murders and stuff like that. Just little things like that, that makes me laugh.
Part three, when the guy and girl and she's talking about, oh, I love Art the Clown. I would do things to Art the Clown, and he was like, hell yeah, without saying a word. And then she was like, and then the dude was like, would you fuck Art the Clown? She was like, no, I wouldn't fuck. And he was like, yeah, you know, but never said a word. That was hilarious. I
Or
saw
just
that in Japan.
like little bits and pieces, like when he's in the bathroom, he's just now taking a piss. This is a guy that scalped people and chainsaws up their butts, but he makes sure to wash his hands after he takes a
Yeah,
piss. Stuff
right.
like that. Here's a question: do you think they've kind of shot themselves in the foot because each movie they're up in the ante? Like we have the one girl who sawed in half in the first one, Then we have the scalping and the salt in the second one. Now, like I said, someone's getting a chainsaw up their ass in the third. They got to really cross that line for the fourth one. Do you think they kind of shot themselves in the foot, or what else can they do?
I don't think they've shot themselves in the foot. And even if it's the same plank as the 3 deaths that you just said, I'll still be satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I think they just keep wanting to. I mean, I don't know what the next thought could be after you shove a chainsaw up somebody's ass, but
Right. Yeah.
I think Damien Leone will figure it out.
They keep making fucking money, so I guarantee it. This
Yeah,
fourth one will as well.
well, and I was just having this conversation not too long ago. There's Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, arguably the 4 number 1 horror icons.
That's what I would say. Yes.
I think even after Halloween, with all the fucking Art the Clown costumes that I saw,
Mm-hmm.
and with all the money that Art the Clown is making, I think Art the Clown is number 5.
He's gonna. I'll say this. I would put him above Chucky. I'd put him above the Leprechaun. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put him over Ghostface because you don't see a lot of kids. At least me. I don't see a lot of kids dressed as Ghostface. I see a lot of kids dressed as Art the Clown, and that says something.
I see a lot of girls dressed as the pale girl.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think Art the Clown is number 5.
Yeah, or you even see, the people who want to be the hot chicks at Halloween, they're dressed like that final girl, with the angel wings and stuff like that. So those Terrifier movies, I'm happy to see a horror movie finally make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Because everybody, horror movies are always going to have this stigma of being dog shit. You know what I mean? Like the bottom of the totem pole. And it's nice to see something actually not cost that much, but really scoring at the box office and then on video and stuff like that.
I'm going to give you a little cool thing. After part 2, after Chris Jericho's extra scene, hope I didn't spoil that. Surely everybody knows by now.
Yeah, it is what it is.
If you keep watching and it'll say special thanks to blah, 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 I gave to Terrifier 2's Indigo.
Really?
Yeah, and it doesn't. I wanted my name Kevin Pondo Kennedy. They didn't do it, but if you follow the C's, A B to the C's, you'll see Kevin Kennedy in those credits.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Here's one thing. What do you think about because we all talked about your love for slashers, The Exorcist. What do you think about B movies? Do you care if it's cheap? Yeah, because I remember when you had the old podcast with the guys, Chris from RPW. One of my favorite episodes was you were talking about how you watched Octoman, and you're like, man, Octoman could just slap a bitch. You know what I mean?
Slap eyeballs out of people.
That's what so you don't care if it's like a Roger Corman thing, like I'm wearing a Critters t-shirt right now, like Critters or Killer Clowns or something like that.
So I'm really weird about it. I just went and watched a movie called Psycho Killer. I saw that Thursday.
Okay.
Thought it was total dog shit.
That's what everyone's saying.
But I love the Toxic Avenger. So I'm really fucked up like that, Yeah. What's another one that I just went and saw?
I know when we first set this up, you're about ready to go see Primate.
I liked Primate. Primate was so Primate was a step up from Cujo, because Cujo was a stupid dog, but Ben the monkey is smart. Same premise. Hope I'm not giving anything away, but same premise as Cujo. The monkey catches something, but he's smart.
Okay.
Where the dog is just chasing them around that little Pinto.
Yeah.
Ben the monkey is doing smart things to get to them. So I liked Primate. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been a sucker for animal horror. I do want to see Primate or things like fucking Piranha. You know what I mean?
I
Whether it's
love
the
him.
original or the remake. You know, Joe Dante's my favorite director, so I'll watch anything that fucker makes. Or like giant. My dad is, he was born in 51, so he helped me get into like the big bug movies of the 50s, like Tarantula
Right.
and that sort of shit. And he got me into sci-fi, and that's when I fell in love with Roger Corman. Like, I think it's like Forbidden World, one of Sid Haig and Robert Englund's first movies. And if you haven't lived until you've seen a woman sexually assaulted by a giant space slug, you know what I mean? It's just,
Galaxy of Terror.
yeah,
One of my favorite movies is Death Race 2000.
same here. I fucking love that
Love that
movie, dude.
movie.
Yeah. 100 points for running over old people. You know what I
That's
mean? And
right.
Sylvester Stallone as like the stereotypical Guido and stuff like
Hell
that.
yeah.
It's just fucking fun. What's your feeling about remakes? Are you one of those that will refuse to see a remake, or will you always at least give it a chance?
I'm a movie fan,
Okay.
so I will go to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Remakes don't bother me until they bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if it's a good remake, I'm not bothered. If it's a bad remake, just because I love movies, that bothers me. But the fact that they want to remake a movie does not bother me whatsoever. Um, just like I said, big fan of Death Race 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing I know, somebody had the idea to make Death Race with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
And it was all in a prison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't want that. I wanted the characters. I wanted Frankenstein, Machine Gun Joe Turbo, Calamity Jane, Matilda the Hun.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the Karate Kid dude's name who bit somebody's. Anyway, the Caesar character. I wanted that.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that. I got Prisoners, so I was disappointed in that. Good movie, but I wanted this, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You wanted the creativity of the characters. You didn't just want them chasing around in some fucking, driving around in some fucking dingy prison.
Well, what one of my favorite movies, I know I keep saying that sentence, but is The Warriors.
Yeah.
Okay. Love the fucking Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that they was making a part 2. Now, number one, Swan, whether it was going to be Swan or a different character, the main character was going to be Freddie Prinze Jr. And I'm like, what in the hell is that?
He's too pretty to be a warrior, dude.
And then it was going to be Crips and Bloods, not all these wonderful gang.
That's why you watch the fucking movie. Like, I love the baseball Furies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Lizzies and
the whole idea got scratched, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah,
I was apprehensive of whether I was going to go watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Max. I love Mel Gibson as Mad Max.
Yeah.
And then I found out that the guy who Tom Hardy, but everybody said, yeah, the guy who played Bane is going to be the new Mad Max, and I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And then I watched it. Now, I don't know if you figured this out or not. Did you watch Fury Road?
Yes, I have Fury Road. I've seen Fury Road.
You do realize he's not Max, right?
I've only seen it the one time. No, I didn't realize. I thought he was the same character.
Okay. Do you remember, just out of the blue, he pulls the little music box out of his pocket and does a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And Mad Max was great with a shotgun. Tom Hardy is terrible with a fucking shotgun. It's the feral kid.
Really?
The feral kid grew up, and yes, he's telling people that he's Max. If you remember, the bus at the end of the Road Warrior, they took Max's car because Max didn't have it.
Right.
He gave it to the people. He was just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
But then the car comes back because it's the fucking feral kid. The narration is the feral kid.
I never
The
even thought of that.
narration, yeah. I'm hoping I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong, but when I saw that little music box, I'm like, why does Max have that? And then it kicked in. I was like, oh, because it's not Max, it's the fucking feral kid.
I never even thought of that. Uh,
The only thing that I wish they would have done, I wish they would have had him use a boomerang or something.
yeah, that would definitely seal the deal that it was him for sure.
Exactly.
That was cool. How well you've already pretty much talked about seeing Godzilla in Japan. Like, how are you when it comes to like foreign films, like with subtitles and stuff? Because I know a lot of people they don't like to
Love it.
read movies.
Love. I am a movie fan. Like,
Yeah.
if I have to read that shit at the bottom, I still want to see that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I love the Squid Games,
Yeah, I love Squid Games.
but I didn't know you could English dub that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was their subtitles were so fast that I had to
Yeah.
keep rewinding to see what the hell did he just say, and I had to
Mm-hmm.
rewind to watch what people were saying. Now that for season 2 and 3, now I knew, oh, okay, I can dub it over to English. But that
Mm-hmm.
first Squid Games, which I loved, don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong,
Yeah.
I had to keep rewinding to see what the hell they said.
I'm that way too. Like I like to watch them in its own dialect because you get the emotion better. But
Yeah.
sometimes it is hard. Like one of my favorite movies that I just saw. Like I'm always slow to the dance watching horror movies and stuff like that. But Train to Busan, it was
Love
so
that.
I thought that was fucking. I'm not gonna lie, I cried like a bitch at the end of that movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And one franchise I really gotten into was the Wreck franchise. You know the
I
Spanish
love
Infection.
it. The first wreck is so intense
It's so
and
fucking good, dude.
yeah, way
When
better than Quarantine. Way better
I
than
Quarantine
Quarantine.
was okay, but this original, like I'm not gonna lie, I was watching it because my wife doesn't do subtitles, so she was in the other room. I was watching it in the dark, and that last 15 minutes when that naked monster chick comes
Yeah,
out, and you have that little kid just swipe at the camera, I
yeah,
nearly shit my pants, man. It was so good,
yeah,
and I was yelling, and my wife was like, "Eric, you all right?" I'm like, "It's just horror movie stuff, honey. Don't worry." I just got
yeah.
scared shitless. Um, and I really liked the third one too, the one with the bride and the husband at the wedding. I thought that one was really good.
So there's a movie called S Frontiers or Frontier S.
Okay.
It's a French one.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking amazing. There's another one called Inside.
And I made the mistake, Pondo, of watching Inside. Didn't know what it was about. I was just told. I watched it like 6 months after my daughter was born. Fucked me
Mhm.
up.
So people puts Mortars over pretty big, and Mortars
Mhm.
is good. Don't get me wrong. The Inside,
That was
holy shit!
that scared the shit out of me. And what was great, there's only like basically just two people in that entire movie. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And it's just so good. It's so brutal. And that's my favorite genre. Like I love slashers. I love possession movies. My favorite horror genre is home invasion because that to me, the more real something is, the more scary it is. And like, I haven't seen the new Strangers trilogy, but I like stuff like that. I like the
I
Strangers.
watched all of them. I saw the third one not too long ago.
I like
It
a
was good
Hush.
up
If
until the third one. The third one made it bad. But
yeah,
uh, Henry, uh, Portrait of a
Portrait of a
Serial
Serial
Killer.
Killer. Yep.
Holy shit! What? So I know it was based off a true story, but
Hmm.
they was just picking people at random.
Yeah, I know.
So that's scary, you know.
Yep.
But
I love to be a dick to
the-
my friends. Like if they don't know who Michael Rooker is, they only know him from like Guardians of the Galaxy. I
right.
tell them, watch Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. And they just get so fucking pissed off, you know what I mean? Because they don't expect how brutal him and Otis are in that movie.
So the first Final Destination
Hmm.
didn't phase me at all. You know, went home, had a good time. Hey everybody, I watched this movie. It was okay. Final Destination 2, I cannot drive behind a logging truck.
Same here. I'm the same way. With I
That's a
don't
true
like driving
story.
behind them or those trucks that are like hauling cars. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? With the racks and stuff. Fuck that. You know.
a
And but
car. I think
that's a good thing for a horror movie though. If it makes you still feel that
yeah,
years after watching it.
a car. I think I could get out of the way of, but a fucking log coming off the back of a truck, you're not getting out of the way of that. It's coming through your window.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the creativity of those movies too. There's like, did you see the last one, Bloodlines? I thought that one was pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have no problems with. So a lot of people hated on Bloodlines, but I didn't. So my favorite thing about the Final Destination is each dream you can remember, like the airplane,
Hmm.
the fucking what was the traffic,
Yeah, the
you know,
highway. Yep.
the road, the roller coaster, the NASCAR,
NASCAR
the bridge in
bridge.
fun, and
Hmm.
then Bloodlines. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I I'm always excited to see. Okay, what's the next dream going to be? And
Hmm.
then after the dream hits, they don't even kill the people like what the dream does. They like that gymnast
Yeah.
with the bolt. You
Oh
think,
God.
you
Yeah. Jesus.
know, who would have thought that that's how they're going to kill that?
I know. The fake outs are so good. It's like, the one guy in part two who, you think he's gonna get his hand stuck in the fucking garbage
Yeah.
disposal, but then he sets his apartment on fire and he literally slips on the fucking spaghetti and gets the ladder through his eye socket.
What is oh my god, what's the dude? I met the guy too, David Koshner.
David Keckner, yeah, bald head. He
Kettner.
was on the office. Yeah,
So so on the bridge, he got melted with blacktop.
yeah,
So you're thinking, okay, something with blacktops. Yeah. And then this fucking wrench comes off and gets him right between the eyes, and you're like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, I like those Final Destination movies just for the shock value in them.
and the thing is, honestly, this gimmick that they have, it can go on forever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because it's something super simple, and anything can happen. And that's what I really have a lot of fun with those, and that's why I like them, is because they are just fun movies. Like sometimes
right.
I like A24. I don't have to fucking think. Sometimes I want to turn my brain off and just watch people get covered in black top and fall to their death type of thing. And
So,
that's all you need in Final Destination.
so I think I'm glad you said that. So the reason I think I hated Hereditary so much
Hmm.
is I didn't know A24's formula of putting clues in movies to the end.
Hmm.
I don't want to think about a goddamn movie. I want to Police Academy. I've said this 100 times. I love Police Academy. They all of them want to be policemen except Steve Gutenberg. He
Right.
goes through the training. Then he wants to become a cop. Funny shit happens. Movie over. Didn't have to think about a thing.
Right.
Hereditary, I didn't know they were putting clues, and I'll
Right.
never watch it again
Hmm.
to see the clues. But Midsummer, I
Yeah.
watched Midsummer and knew the formula A24. I enjoyed Midsummer because I could see, oh, okay, there's a clue, there's a clue, there's a clue.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the fucking Hereditary had clues that I had to, and I don't know. I just think so. Here's my biggest thing with Hereditary.
Yeah. Please.
Um, the brother tells the mom, "Hey, I'm going to a party,"
Hmm.
and the mom says, "All right, but you better not smoking weed." And he's like, "I don't know. I'm not going to be smoking weed." She's like, "And don't forget to take your sister." All right, you're going to take your sister to a fucking teenage party where the son already says he's going to smoke weed. So
Yeah.
the son's smoking weed. The little girl eats cake with fucking walnuts or whatever in it, gets her allergic reaction.
Right.
He shoves her in a car. He's running her, I don't know, to the hospital, home, wherever.
Yeah.
She can't breathe. She puts her head outside the door, out the car door. He hits a fucking uh, telephone pole, knocks her fucking head off. Next day, he wakes up. He wakes up in bed. There's no police investigation. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just too. I'm a big Hereditary hater. And what's funny is people try to give me Hereditary T-shirts.
Really?
Uh, my buddy Michael Tawney
Uh,
worked at a movie theater, and he said, "Hey man, I got a poster for Sisu," and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" The outside says Sisu and everything. Got
uh-huh.
home with a Hereditary poster.
What a
You
dick.
know, people fuck with me about Hereditary now.
Yeah. Here's one thing. What is one movie? Because you hate Hereditary, and it seems like everybody loves it. What's one movie that you enjoy, but it seems like no one ever talks about? Is there like a
Man,
specific horror movie that like you really,
I
really love, but
mean,
no one ever brings it up?
like we already talked about this. Like I love some shitty movies like
Sure.
Trauma. I
Yeah.
love trauma films. Um, what's a film that I really love that?
Like here, I'll give you an
Oh,
example. Like one of mine, like I just became a fan of this within the last handful of years. Is you ever see American Gothic with the
yeah,
chick who used to play Lily Munster? Like
yeah,
I that was one that I really grew to like. It's just backwood hillbillies, doing their thing, and
right,
it's Lily Munster's the mom, the
yeah.
matriarch, and no one talks about it. I'm always trying to tell people, watch this fucking movie. If you like these type of movies, check this one out. And it's like it's never talked about.
I'm trying to think of your question though, man. I never even really thought about that. A movie that I really like that a lot of people don't like.
Or not necessarily maybe don't
Oh,
like, but like it's never brought up in a conversation. Like when you're talking
Mother's Day.
horror, I was
Trauma's
gonna
Mother's Day.
I was gonna ask you because I literally have. We'll go into this. I'm not a fan of rape revenge movies.
Me
I know
neither.
there. I know there's a big sexual assault scene in the original Mother's Day. I want Pondo
Hmm.
to sell me on Mother's Day because I'm not against
Okay.
watching it, but I want Pondo to sell me on Mother's Day.
All right. There's these two like dangerous brothers
Mm-hmm.
that their mom is training them to be rapists and killers.
Okay.
The reason I love this movie so much is they're adults, they
Mm-hmm.
kill people, but they're still like two little kids. Like
Like
one
mentally.
is I don't know about the word mentally, but
Okay.
so one loves punk and the other one loves disco. And they're getting ready in the morning
Okay.
to start their day. And one of them's brushing her teeth and the other one's like combing his hair, and they're just like, punk sucks. And the other one's like, disco stupid. And the other one's punk sucks, disco stupid, just like little kids would do.
Yeah.
And then they did such a good job of portraying kids as adults that I love this movie. And
Okay.
the mom in the movie, and then there's a secret character that
Because this is
shows up.
this is a trauma movie, right?
It's a trauma.
That's what
Yeah,
I thought.
Charles Kaufman directed this one, not Lloyd Kaufman.
Okay.
I even tracked Charles Kaufman down. Um, one of the documentaries talked about Charles Kaufman worked at a bread store in California. I called the bread store and talked to Charles Kaufman and said, "Man, I love your fucking film." Uh, it does have a terrible rape scene in it,
Mm-hmm.
a terrible one. But the revenge that the girls get on them,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it almost makes the rape scene. It almost makes it necessary
Okay.
for how bad they get these girls get the revenge on them.
Okay. Okay.
And
I
it's only an hour and a half long. I mean,
Yeah,
you can
and
sit there
I could fast forward to it through it too. I know that I can fast forward through that the assault scene, but
yeah.
I've always been more interested.
Here you go. Here you go.
Okay.
The minute. So okay, don't fast forward until after. Okay, so there's There's a rape scene called the Shirley Temple. Don't
Okay.
fast forward through that because something like I was explaining with the brothers arguing back and forth happens. And no rape happens yet.
Okay.
But after you see the Polaroid come out,
Okay.
fast forward a little bit
Okay.
until you see the brother named Adley with his mask on, and then
Okay.
it's a normal movie after that.
Okay. Like I'm not into like I spit on your grave and stuff like that, but
Love that movie.
yeah, you sold me just on the two brothers being idiots with each other.
Yeah.
It just the this sounds like just like sibling rivalry with serial killers to me.
Actually, I want you to email me after you watch the movie and say, Pondo, you was right. That those brothers, they were so brilliant the way they portrayed their characters the way they did.
I'm making a note now. I'm gonna because let's see, I'm gonna try to watch Primate, and then I'm gonna make sure after that when the kid is nowhere near me, I'm gonna
Yeah.
find Mother's Day and check it out, and I will get a hold of you.
You know, you can go to trauma.com and they give away every trauma film for free.
Really?
Trauma.com. Yeah,
No
you can
shit.
watch all their movies for free.
What did you think of the Toxic Avenger remake? Have you seen that?
Okay, it's a movie.
Okay.
I don't understand why Toxic Avenger is a midget.
I was talking to Slack once when it came out. He said that he just couldn't buy Peter Dinklage and Toxie as 3 foot
But,
four.
but if it would have came out first, I might be a fan of Toxic Avenger Peter Dinklage.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, that first Toxic Avenger is, dude. I drove all the way to Cleveland, Ohio, or not Cleveland, Ohio, Mansfield, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
to meet the cast of the Toxic Avenger.
Really?
I met Melvin, Bozo, Slug, Wanda, and Julie.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not in this book though.
I appreciated it for what it was. I think I liked it more the first time, I think I liked it more the first time I watched it just because I didn't know what to expect. The second time I watched it, I'm like, it's not as good as I remember, but I think I didn't hate it, if that makes sense.
Let me give you some insides. And I even talked to Lloyd Kaufman about this. He's like, I can't believe you knew this. Remember, I worked at 3 video stores.
Mm-hmm.
The third video store that I worked at, this was the only time that you ever saw this. Buy one copy of the Toxic Avenger because you would buy the one copy of a video, and then
Mm-hmm.
you'd put the cover out on the shelves, and they would pick the cover up and take it to the counter.
Yep.
Their promotion was buy one copy of the Toxic Avenger, get 4 of them free.
Jesus.
Now, let me tell you why they did that. When people would come into the video store, they would see 5 copies of this movie and they'd be like, holy shit, this movie must rock.
Uh-huh.
Then they'd bring it back like, what the fuck was this? But still,
It got people talking.
they got people talking.
Yeah.
And the shit they gave away, they gave like Toxic Avenger mask and little radiated barrels, and I had all that shit for the longest time. That divorce, girlfriend, house to house, you lose shit
Right.
everywhere you go. I had none of that shit. Like I had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's Leatherface stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. Have no fucking clue, but that alone, there was, so that was a good idea. And then have you ever seen Audition?
No, one of the things one of my questions I was going to ask you is like, what makes you cringe? Like, is there anything that can make you cringe because of the stuff you've seen in the ring? Like blood cutting his fucking leg to the bone, and Necro's elbow. Like, is there? What makes me cringe is I can't do like compound fractures, like the arm wrestling scene in The Fly.
No
Fucks me
problem.
up.
I got that. No problem.
Fingernails and teeth fucks me up. I can't
Okay.
do like piercings. Like you were in a fish hook match once.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I can't do that, or the needles. I don't want to see, like, I know audition has to do with needles and like piano wire and stuff like that. And then that's what's kind of pushing me away from it.
3 things that's fucked me up in a film.
Okay.
American History X, when he tells the guy to bite the curb.
Yes, when you can hear his teeth on the granite.
That fucked me up.
Yep.
The movie Seven.
Okay. One of my favorite movies.
I never jump at movies, but when the one dude leaned over and the guy that you thought was no way alive fucking started doing the shit, I jumped. I'm embarrassed to say, but I jumped.
No, it's okay, dude.
The third, Jackass, when Preston had on the saran wrap jumpsuit, did a bunch of jogging, and then they poked a hole and filled a cup full of his sweat, and Steve-O drunk it.
Yeah.
I could not watch that.
Yeah, that's fucking gross.
3 things in movie that has just fucked me up.
So you could handle, like, when Steve-O gets the paper cuts across the mouth, you can handle that like nothing.
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking gross. But yeah, like I can't do piercings and like you said, that anything, like, even if it's something like Stir of Echoes when Kevin Bacon's pulling out his tooth, or I'm sure you've seen The Substance.
Oh yeah, I love The Substance.
Me too. When she pushes like the elevator key and like her fingernail just that's the shit I can't do, man. I don't know what it is.
You know, I pulled out my own tooth for YouTube, right? I've
seen the video. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what hurt more, the tooth or the Vicks Vapor Rub and the tear ducts?
Well,
what was worse?
Not so much the tooth. So it was 4 a.m, and this guy Luke Hadley and me, we spent the night at Howard Stern's. Oh shit! I can't believe I forgot this guy's name. The drunk guy. Anyway, we spent the night at this Howard Stern's, one of his, groovy gooly or whatever he calls them.
Yeah.
And Jeff the Drunk.
Okay. And, I know. He's the one that always wore the sling, I think.
Yes, that's him. And we were spending the night at his house, and it was like 3, 4 a.m, and my tooth started killing me. I mean, severely. And I made the comment, I was like, man, if I had a pair, because 4 a.m, there's no dentist, there's no doctor you can go to. I made the comment, if I had a pair of pliers, I'd pull this tooth out right now. Whoops. And Luke Hadley was like, oh my God, Jeff, do you have a pair of pliers? And I'm like, by then I had already opened my mouth and said I was going to do it. Luke Hadley went to Walmart, bought a pair of pliers, and I pulled my own tooth out. Yeah. But the thing about it is, I had already pulled out one before that, and I had pulled one out since that, because I don't have money for a dentist.
Oh, trust me, I got a broken tooth and an impacted wisdom tooth. Trust me, that's why I haven't gotten them taken care of. It's just too fucking expensive, man. I get it.
So yeah, pulling teeth and compact. I'll tell you a movie that really messed with my anxiety huge.
Yeah.
I'm coming to terms with my anxiety. The doctor told me I had it. I said, no, I don't. Yes, I do. I got it now. But did you ever see the movie Fall?
Is that the one with the 2 chicks on the giant pole? I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Oh my God. My anxiety was, because I went to the theater and saw that.
Uh-huh.
My anxiety was out the fucking door with that movie. People say to me all the time, give me a movie that's going to scare me. I tell them every time, I'm like, This movie ain't gonna scare you, but it's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah,
Watch Fall. Go watch Fall.
that's yeah. That's on one of my lists. A couple more questions, and then I'll let you go. One thing.
I'm
What about
not
a more?
I'm not hurting if you got more questions.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if your fans are watching this or not, but they can write questions too, dude. I got
I did.
nothing to do.
I did have my. You can answer this if you want, because he said he read this on the internet a long time ago. He said, please ask Pondo about the time. I think he says he thinks you might have been living with Necro or Toby Klein at the time. Were you taped razor blades to your fist and had to fight off drug dealers?
I know. Okay, so me
That's
and a
that's that's
guy
for my
named
buddy Alan. He's gonna watch the replay. He wanted me to ask you that.
me and a guy named Ox Harley.
Okay.
With Ox Harley's a piece of shit. He stole a belt off of me, sold it for $50 for drugs. The only reason I'm mentioning his name is because your buddy wants to hear this story.
Okay.
Me and Ox Harley, we got booked through a guy named JT Lightning.
Okay.
Flew us into Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
and we would stay at this guy Brawlin' Bo Barnes's house. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Brawlin' Bo Barnes, Ox Harley, and me. We had a three-way that night, and some dude jumped in the ring.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's common knowledge to wrestlers. So this person who jumped in the ring hit Ox in the back. Ox thought it was me, so Ox took a big bump for this guy,
Mm-hmm.
which made me go over and kick this dude in the head. And Ox figured out what's going on, so we're beating the shit out of this dude to get him out of
Okay.
the ring. It's a thumbtack match, so we had thumbtacks in the bottom of our boots.
Okay.
Well, when we're kicking this dude in the face, we separated his nose right here.
Uh-huh.
All right. Never once did Brawlin' Bo Barnes say that he knew this guy. Nothing. But that's where we were staying. We were staying at Brawlin' Bo Barnes's house.
Okay.
So after the show, we go to Brawlin' Bo's house, walk in the front room. There's that guy and like 7 of his friends.
Mm.
And we're like, holy shit, and the guy's asking us, hey, why'd you do that? Look at my nose, and we're like, well, you got in the ring, you can't get in the ring on us. We're trying to be civil. So finally I'm like, okay, I'm going to Hooters. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, let's go to Hooters. We just wanted to get out of that situation.
Right.
Well, Bo Barnes said, hey, I'll go to Hooters with you guys, and left this house full of friends in his living room. So we went to
Jesus.
Hooters and we had a good time. We
Mm-hmm.
came back. They had trashed his house because he went to Hooters with us and didn't stay there with him, and stole money out of Ox's bag and all this shit. Well, Bo Barnes, he's a little touched. He's calling these guys on the phone saying, I'm gonna fucking kill you when I see you and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means. These guys are gonna get tired of hearing that, and they're gonna come and they're gonna take revenge on this Bo Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
We were staying there that night.
Yeah.
So I'm not dumb. I went and I taped up 3 razor blades on the tips of my fingers, just
Okay.
waiting on what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So one dude comes in the room, and the second dude has a gun strapped on his side.
Okay. Jesus.
We can't do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the one dude takes Bo Barnes inside the bedroom. He's got a huge ass Michael Myers knife. But there's this dude with a gun.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The guy with the knife makes me go in the kitchen, makes Ox sit in the living room, takes Bo Barnes inside his bedroom, cutting him We can hear
Yeah.
all the shit. I go in that room, the dude with the gun, I mean, they've got us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, the lucky thing was the dude with the knife starts stabbing a chair. The knife breaks and goes in his wrist.
Ooh.
So they have to leave to go to the hospital. Right away, the minute they left, I called JT Lightning. I said, "You get your ass here and you get my ass picked up and take me to a fucking hotel."
Mm-hmm.
And I explained what happened. But I don't think they was after me and Ox. Could have easily could have easily slit our throats, could have easily whatever.
Right.
But they did cut the shit out of Brolin. The one guy cut the shit out of Brolin Bull Barnes. And if it wasn't for that one little hip mishap,
Yeah.
where the knife went in his wrist, who knows what would have happened?
Right. Jesus Christ, dude. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, thanks, Alan, for asking about that fucking story.
no
Um,
problem.
Doc Kaiju says, we were talking about like critters and killer clowns. He says he loves the Ghoulies films and he's a big fan of Charles Band, who made the first two. What do you think about Charles Band and like his Full Moon movies, like the Puppet Master series and shit like Evil Bong and Ginger Dead Man?
Not a fan of the Puppet Master movies. Not a fan at all. I liked Crypt Killer, Castle Freak. I'm sorry.
I've heard a lot of people tell me I need to see Castle Freak, and they said the
I like
remake's not too bad either.
I liked Castle Freak. I liked that Gary Busey was the gingerbread man,
Yeah,
but then 2 or 3, it wasn't Gary Busey. I guess he was too hard to work with.
yeah.
I sat in on one of Charles Band's. So I knew. So okay, I went to Monster Mania and they
Mm-hmm.
had a Charles Band seminar, but the very next one was the Devil's Rejects seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to be front row for the Devil's Rejects seminar.
Yeah.
So I knew nobody gave a fuck about Charles Band's seminar. So I went to Charles Band's seminar so I could get a front row seat for the Devil's Rejects seminar.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he was pretty interesting. I, I, I don't know. The Puppet Master series should originate to me like the Final Destination series because they always put a new puppet.
Right.
The one with the blades,
Yeah.
and the one with the fire hands, and the cowboy with the 6 hands, and the leech girl.
Leech girl. Yep.
So I should like the Puppet Masters a lot better than I do, but I do not.
There's just something about them you just don't like.
Yeah. And then all of Charles Band's, I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it. You got Tommy Chong to star in a movie, but you got to make an evil Bong.
Yeah.
Bad channels. I don't even know what the fuck I watched. Is what was the name of it? TerraVision. Is that Charles Band?
I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with TerraVision. I'm not gonna lie. I know you're not much of a drinker. I watched it drunk once and I fucking loved it. I watched it sober and I thought it was like, ooh, I think the alcohol might have helped. So I definitely need to give it a rewatch. But I love the concept of this big, dumb fucking space alien or whatever it is, just living inside the TV and just doing what it does. And the crazy grandfather who's helping his grandson with the guns and shit like that. So I love the concept. I love the look of the monster too. It looks like this gigantic literal piece of shit with googly eyes and a big giant like Cheshire cat grin,
Well, if Charles Band did that one, I'm a fan of that movie, Charles. So you redeemed yourself on that. But that and Castle Freak, like I'm not really a big Charles Band fan. I'm trying to think of other. Did he do Subspecies?
I don't think that's him, but I'm gonna look him up now. Charles Band, because and I'm thinking there's got to be like 13, 14 Puppet Master movies. Jesus Christ, there's got to be.
There's at least seven.
Let's
Seven
see
of
here.
those.
So
But then there was Doll Man, and then Doll Man versus
there's
Demonic
Demonic
Toys.
Toys, Head of the Family. That's one I've always wanted to see, just because I've seen that's one of those movie posters that I've seen in Fangoria, like the guy with the big fucking
Yeah,
head and like the
very
tiny
weird.
body.
Very
It's
Charles
like,
Band weird.
yeah, it's Blood Dolls, Dr. Moreau's House of Pain, Evil Bong, Skullheads, Devil Dogs. Lots of fucking Jesus Christ, how many fucking Evil Bong movies are there? Good Lord.
There's four of those, correct?
Yeah. Looks like there's 8.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
The 8th one just came out like 3 years ago. Jesus Christ.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
Wow. Is there okay, what's one horror movie that you thought you were going to absolutely hate, but ended up really loving it? Like one of the biggest surprises for you when it comes to horror movies.
Oh my gosh. That I thought I would hate, and then I wound up liking. Uh, I watched so many damn movies. Some of
Yeah.
these questions are hard. What's yours? And I'll start thinking of mine.
The first thing that came to my head, I'm gonna say, is Tales from the Hood. And the reason why is I remember when it came out, and it was when like all the Hood movies came out, and I literally thought it was just gonna be a bunch of gangbangers throwing out the N word every 30 seconds, and it was just gonna be them shooting each other. I didn't realize it was gonna be this kind of fun anthology movie. Plus, we have that one scene, that one story where David Allen Greer is beating up his kid, and he gets
Yeah.
twisted up and stuff like that. And Clarence William III is just like so over the top as this version's Crypt Keeper, stuff like that. So the first one I could think of was probably Tales from the Hood. That was at least like a pleasant surprise, and I thought it was going to be just, I hate to say, like a typical gangbanger movie, from the '90s, like Boys in the Hood and South Central and stuff like that.
I'm gonna say mine was Midsummer because
Okay.
I hated fucking Hereditary, but
Yep.
this girl that I was seeing wanted to. So we were coming home from Indianapolis,
Okay.
and there was a guy and a girl, and me and a girl, and when we got to the theater, that was the only thing that was playing. Well, I wanted to finger bang her in a movie or whatever, so
Yeah.
we went to that. And I thought, okay, the finger banging is going to be good, but I'm going to hate this fucking movie. Loved it.
Put that on the
Loved it.
poster.
Yeah. Yeah. Come for the finger banging, stay for the movie. But I loved it. I thought Midsummer was really good. And there
Mm-hmm.
is I don't did you see Midsummer?
Yeah, I really liked it.
There is the suicide scene really.
With the two
The,
old people at the top of the
yeah,
cliff.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
fucked me up. Yeah.
And the way it was filmed, like I don't do acid, but everybody who was with me has done acid, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god, this movie's like I'm on an acid trip." And while I'm watching the movie, I'm like, "Holy shit, this is what acid would be like,"
Yeah.
because it's filmed in a whole different. What's the word I'm looking for? It was all
Well,
shiny and
you know what it looked like? It's like you have all this nasty, bad stuff happening, but it's kind of pretty to look at, if that
yeah,
makes
there you
sense.
go.
Yeah, it's like you have the old people going off the cliff. You have the one person being forced to impregnate the other girl. The
Yeah,
guy finding the pubic hair in his food, stuff like all this weird, fucked up shit. But it's pretty to look at, the colors and stuff like that. And
yeah.
that's kind of what drew me into it as well. Yeah. So I normally end these because it's getting a little late here. I normally end these with 2 questions that I've already asked you. What do you do for relaxation and your final meal? So I switched it up for you, Pondo.
All right, man.
What I'm going to do is, like, a lot of times, I'm sure you've seen, just scrolling online, you'll see, like, at a Comic-Con, someone will ask, hey, what's better, this movie or this movie? The movie they pick goes on to the next round. So I thought
All
it would
right.
be kind of interesting to do this with you. I've got a bunch of, I guess you would say, well-known horror movie characters, and I'm going to
Okay.
throw them
Cool.
at you. And it's not who you think would win in a fight; it's who you prefer, or who you prefer
Who
for
I
their
love.
friend. Yeah,
Who I love the most.
exactly. And then we'll see who ends up being the winner for Mad Man Pondo.
As
So I'm going to get these two
long
right out of the way.
as that fucking sinister dude is not on this list, we're all good.
Nope, he's not there. We
We're
have
good.
okay, round one: Michael Myers, Ghostface.
Michael Myers.
Okay. So next we have next round is Michael Myers and Pinhead.
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. Okay. Michael
Not
Myers.
not to say that I don't love some Pinhead though.
Mhm. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees.
Michael Myers.
Jeez, yeah. Okay. Michael Myers and
No,
Leatherface.
we're talking part 1 and 2, not this new shit.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
All right,
fine.
go ahead.
Yep. Michael Myers versus Leatherface.
Leatherface.
Thank God. I like Michael Myers. I'm just tired of seeing him everywhere. So now this one's gonna be tough. Michael Myers, and I know he's your boy, the tall man.
Well, I went with Leatherface though. It should
Oh,
be
my bad.
Leatherface.
Yeah, my bad. I crossed. Like I said, it's late. Leatherface and your boy, the tall man.
Leatherface.
Really? No, why?
Yeah.
Now, as much as you love the Phantasm franchise, why would you put Leatherface over the tall man?
I like that. Okay, so the tall man,
Mm-hmm.
I loved it because I didn't know what he was.
Okay.
I loved Leatherface because he doesn't know he's doing wrong.
True.
His dad is teaching him, "Hey, we need meat for this chili."
Mm-hmm.
So
Go get
as
us the meat. Yeah.
as far as Leatherface is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
people are breaking into his fucking house.
True.
Think about that. Like,
Yeah.
they were breaking into his house, so why shouldn't he hack them up for meat that his dad wants?
Defend his
I don't
property.
know.
Yeah.
I really love some Leatherface though.
All right. So now this is going to be easy. Leatherface and Leprechaun.
Shit, Leatherface.
Yeah, I know. All right. I know you have a special place with this in your heart, but you got to be 100% fair. Leatherface or Mayor Buckman from 2001 Maniacs.
Leatherface.
Okay. Leatherface, Damien Thorne from The Omen.
Leatherface.
Leatherface or Candyman.
Leatherface. I love some Candyman now.
Yeah, to think. All right, here we go. Leatherface or Art the Clown.
Art the Clown.
Art the Clown. All right, we have. Oh, this is gonna be easy. Art the Clown or Chucky.
Art the Clown.
Art the Clown or Hannibal Lecter.
Art the Clown.
Two more. Art the Clown, Freddy Krueger.
Art the Clown.
All
I love some Freddy though. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
Love Robert, Mayor Buckman, and Freddie. If you're ever watching this, love you, dude. But man, I just really got this Art the Clown thing going right now.
Hey, you know what? And last one, Art the Clown. I had to throw him on there just because. Art the Clown or Norman Bates.
Art the Clown.
All right. Well, out of 15 choices, Pondo's number one is Art the Clown.
I do respect that. Norman Bates was the first split personality killer. There's 100 now, but Norman Bates was that first one. So respect for Norman Bates.
I think he's underrated because everyone remembers the first one, but I think the second one is just as good as the first one. The one where he's
I loved all four. I
love the fourth one too. When we see the prequel with Henry Thomas and Olivia Hussey as his creepy ass fucking mom, dressing him in dresses and taking him to bed.
Did you ever see The Black Hole?
Black Hole.
It's a Disney film, but it's
yes, my dad was a big fan of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought Anthony Perkins did a real good job in that as well.
Yeah. What do you think of his son Oz Perkins? You know, in his movies.
Who is it?
Oz Perkins. He did Black Coat's Daughter. He just did The Monkey.
I
He's
have
done a
not
few
seen
other.
the monkey. What was the first one you said?
The Black Coat's Daughter. You wouldn't like the Black Coat's Daughter. That's a thinking movie.
I
No
haven't
offense,
seen
but yeah,
either one of those.
yeah.
The monkey. I started the
He did.
monkey.
He did Long Legs. Did you see Long Legs?
On, I wasn't too big a fan of Long. I like Nicolas Cage though, but
Okay.
I started watching the monkey on the airplane home and woke up like 3 hours later. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if that's because airplanes put me to sleep. I don't know if that movie was just boring to me. I don't know what it was, but I did start the monkey and then woke up later on.
I'll just say this: I haven't seen Primate, and I'll stick with Primate over the Monkey. I couldn't stand it. It was
Okay.
just too goofy of a horror movie for me, and I didn't. I wanted something serious. Um, what do you think? One thing that's big in horror, like I know you say you like your cheese and you like your stupid shit sometimes. What do you think about horror movies now? Like every time you turn around, there's like this public domain horror movie coming out. Like we have Killer Popeye movies and we have Killer Winnie the Poohs
Uh,
and Mickey Mouse. What do you think of that? You think they have their
yeah,
place, or is that something you're not interested in?
I went to Blood and Honey,
Mm-hmm.
and the problem with it was most of those fight scenes were so dark you couldn't even see what was going on.
Yeah.
I have not watched Blood and Honey 2. I have not watched the Popeye horror movie. I watched the Grinch horror movie because it was David Howard
David Howard
Thornton as the
Thornton. Yeah.
Grinch. I wasn't a big fan of it. Too much CGI in that one. Uh,
I know
trying to think.
There's a Peter Pan one out that I thought was
Oh, I didn't
really
even
fucked
know
up.
it.
Yeah,
I didn't,
Peter Pan is he's abducting children. He's a serial killer, and he's taking them to Neverland, and he's just keeping them hostage. And he's got a transsexual that he keeps in that is a man but thinks he's a woman. He dresses her up like Tinkerbell, and he shoots her up with heroin. That it's called pixie dust. It's really fucked up. They're really trying to
yeah.
push. And speaking of Robert Englund, the next one is going to be Pinocchio, and he's going to voice the cricket. Robert Englund is going to voice the cricket in
Well,
this Killer Pinocchio movie.
there was already a Pinocchio horror movie that I kind of enjoyed.
Pinocchio's Revenge.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh god, I remember watching that on home video. I like that too. I thought
Yeah.
it was fucked up and weird. What do you think of the Wishmaster movies? How about them?
I like the first one,
Mhm.
and I like the what? Which one? What number was the one where he went to prison?
That's the second one.
I like those two, and
Yeah,
then I think the Wishmaster character's actor switched to
yeah,
somebody else.
yeah,
Correct?
yeah,
I don't know. So that would be number three.
yeah, yeah.
How
There's
many
four of them.
Wishmaster movies is there?
Four.
I don't think I even saw the fourth one, and I didn't appreciate the third one mostly because I like the character, the actor who did the first two, and I
Mhm.
don't think the third one came off as good as the first two.
Yeah, the third one I thought was okay. Don't waste your fucking time with the fourth one. It's a love story between the
Oh
djinn and the hot chick, and you know he gets his three wishes. The demons come out for like 2 minutes. They're defeated, and you know the djinn ends up fucking the hot chick. It's really awful. I mean, unless you want to see that, that's your thing. You want to see Genie's
wow.
fucking hot chick. It's not worth it. Well, Pondo, this has been a lot of fun. I know tomorrow it's you're working for IW Deep South, right? You're
Yeah,
going against Jimmy
yeah.
Controversy still,
Yes,
as
I
far
am
as I know.
here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and on purpose. I don't know if you've heard about this. I rode Jurassic the Jungle Boat ride.
Mm-mm.
It's like listed the worst ride here at Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and I wanted to ride it because of that fact.
And does it live up to that title?
I gave it a 6 out of 10 because
Okay.
I rode the Fast and the Furious ride at Orlando's Universal Studios, and that ride is shit. So this was better than
Yeah, so tomorrow, if people are listening to the audio, the audio will be up tomorrow. You're taking on Jimmy Controversy. It seems like a good card. At least, yeah, I know. I always say card subject to change. I know Mickey Knuckles is going to be there. I think she's scheduled. Nope, not going to happen.
JCW. She went to JCW.
Okay. Well, as far as I know, I'm just going to say, as far as I know now, the main event is Necro still versus Lil Sicko.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to see Necro Butcher kill some little clown, check it. I'm going to try to get Necro on. I love him to death.
That little clown likes it though.
I'm not going to lie. When I first saw Little Sicko, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Another fucking clown in death matches. Yeah. I'm really warming up to him, and that motherfucker, he really likes to be impaled with quills and shit like that, doesn't he?
Yeah. Jesus. Shit like that reminds me of me back in the day. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but back when I was number 3 in America doing this horse shit, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're doing that shit!" And now there's somebody new that people are saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're doing that shit." A lot of guys have reminded me of me over the years.
Yeah. So
real quick,
please.
If you want the first book,
yes,
that's already available, and if you wait on the second book, both of them, you'll be able to get at Amazon.com. First one's called Memoirs of a Madman. Second one's called Pondo versus the Horror Icons. You'll be able to get both of those in 2026. Amazon.com or visitdeadpark.com. Talk to John Cosper about getting an autographed copy. I have done fucking 20 podcasts. It's the second book has gotten done. This is the most fun I've had. I mean, here it is. It's 2 hours in, and I could go another hour. This is the shit right here. This is what I like. The fucking.
I appreciate that, and that's why I wanted to have you back on. I wanted to, because the first time, like I said, it's been a couple years, and I had to kind of establish who you were to the people that watched. You know what I mean? So we had to get the wrestling stuff out of the way. But I knew you really wanted to fucking talk horror. So when you made that post on Facebook, be like, "Hey, I got a second book coming out. Who wants to have me on the podcast?" I'm like, "Good. Let's promote the book, but then let's just talk, 90 minutes at least about horror, man." I had a blast.
I will say I am not a fan of your Hats movie.
No, you're not a Killer Clowns guy?
Nah, it was just I love stupid movies, but that one I just couldn't get into it.
That's all right. What about Critters? You a Critters guy at least?
Yeah, Critters 1 and 2.
All right.
3 and 4 could have not been made.
I'll agree with that. So you know what? Yeah. You may hate, you may not like Killer Clowns, but if you're a Critters fan, I'm okay with that, Pondo.
Even this new Critter movie that came out, what the fuck was that?
No, they're okay. Love the first one. The first one's one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies. Second one was fun because the second one was fun. I'm a huge with the ball, and when the dude dressed as the Easter Bunny gets fucking eaten and goes through the window, that shit's fun. The third one was just fucking dumb. When they're in the apartment, the critters are eating and farting and stuff like that. And the second one or the fourth one, when they're in space, it's okay. I would rather watch that one over the third one where they're just fucking farting. You know what I mean?
And Critters 1, it started it all. It started Ghoulies, Munchies, it was Critters.
Hobgoblins. There was the 80s were full of all these these little creatures type of movies. Yeah. And then there's the fifth Critters movie where there's a white female critter was helping a bunch of kids.
It was made now, right? It was made in 2000s, right?
Yeah. And then they made a TV show that's they were awful. I blind bought.
No idea there was a TV show.
There's if you got Tubi, It's on it. It's called like a new binge or something stupid. I have it saved just like if I'm desperate, just because I'm a Critters fan. You know, I'm gonna fucking watch it, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
run out to watch it type of thing. But that first movie, I fucking love.
Me too.
Yep. Well, Pondo, first off, thank you for the praise. I'm glad you had a good time just shooting shit and
I
talking horror.
did.
I know
This is
I
my
know what you
shit
think.
right here.
So I will have the Amazon link, and then I'll have John Corso's website in the description when I'm done
Gotcha.
here. Um, like I said, if everyone's listening, I don't know if it's going to be on the website or not, but Pondo will be there tomorrow. IWA Deep South against Jimmy Controversy. Is there a
Yep.
stipulation to the match, or is it just straightforward?
Shit, I don't know. Hell, I just show up. You
And
know me.
that's the best answer ever. So
That's
Pondo, I'm
it.
glad you showed up. I'm glad you had a good time, and thanks again, man. One of these days,
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna reach out to you again. We're gonna shoot the shit about some more horror.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about so on the next one, let's talk about shit that we've watched now, which I know that you don't watch now, but I've been to so many horror movies since
Mm-hmm.
January, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Sure.
Talk about that new shit.
You know what? I'll keep a list going, and maybe I'll hit you up in a few months, and we'll just shoot the shit, and I'll make sure I watch
Okay.
Primate.
Let's let that second book get released, and then we'll get back on this motherfucker.
Absolutely, I'd love to, man. I'd love to, and I'll wait till I'm able to get myself a physical copy, and you'll skim through it a little bit, and then I'll
Sounds
have some
good.
stuff to talk about, and then I'll make sure to fucking get back to you about Mother's Day.
Sounds good. I want to hear what you think.
Absolutely.
But
So,
don't forget, you know what? Don't stop being a pussy and just watch the fucking rape scene. It only lasts like 2 minutes, but I don't want you to miss what happens before and after. So just suck it up, Buttercup. Watch
you know
that.
what? I'm not gonna have Pondo call me a fucking pussy on my own
That's
show. I'll
right.
watch the goddamn scene, okay?
Just realize while you're watching that,
Yeah.
the shit that's getting ready to happen to them guys is fucking horrendous.
I will get back to you, and I'll make sure I'm gonna
And look
watch the
out
whole.
for that special character I was telling you about.
I definitely will. Thank you to everybody that was here, Patrick and Joseph, Anthony. Thank you to Alan for your question about the incident. We'll just leave it at that. You know, with the blades on the fingers. It was a fun story. And again, you know, to everybody, support Pondo. Check out his Facebook page. You see him if he's booked in your area. Tell him I sent you. Bring him a book. He'll put his bloody thumbprint on it.
Take a
And
picture with me. I'm not one of them guys that will turn you down. Ask me to
yeah,
take a picture and an autograph.
that's
I'm
one
that
thing.
guy.
That's one thing. You know what? I like to tell people that just because there's wrestlers and then there's deathmatch wrestlers, and that's why I like to have more deathmatch wrestlers on my shows. There's a stigma to you guys. No offense. There's a stigma that you're just crazy fucking weirdos. You know what I mean?
Right?
And in real
Yeah.
life, when you're not beating the shit out of each other, you're just at your merch table talking to fans, bullshitting like you and I are doing right now. So yeah. So with that, I'm Eric. That's fucking Pondo. Watch the goddamn scene in Mother's Day, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.
End stream. All right. Thank you, Matt.